Alright guys, I had to let two of them by. Welcome back. There's the other one. She was tight quarters, so I had to tuck in little holes here. So yeah, we're still on the road to the Immigrant. I think this is actually called the Immigrant on a map, but I'm not going to be 100% sure, so I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to call it Norforks. But yeah, like I was saying before, I'm going to try and make my way towards Sussex. Really like to get to Martin Head Island. That would be awesome. You can go right down to the beach there in the ocean, Bay of Fundy. And as long as you don't get down, this is what they tell me. As long as you stay on the big rocks up top, you're fine. You're not allowed to ride on the beach or in the water. I mean, you don't want to really ride in the water anyway. Salt water will really take havoc on your bike. She'd wreak havoc for sure. But, yeah. So I made it to Coles Island, like I said. But I lost all that footage. And it so bummed me out. Because I was gone, geez, I'm going to say 6 hours round trip. And that was from Armstrong's, Irving, and Chipman. I like unloading there. And, because, I mean, you can go anywhere, really. And, yeah, I lost it all. Oh, bombed me right out. But, what do you do, right? Just move on and make some more. That little beaver dam there, or beaver pond, or whatever you want to call it, brook. That's why this road is closed. So I haven't turned my GPS on yet because, I mean, I'm just running over my tracks again, right? Because I've been on this track before. I do have a trip coming up. It's gonna be an adventure. I know the route about 3/4 of the way. The last quarter is going to be a mystery. But that's okay because, you know, we rock. I hate to say it, but I drive a Honda, but I use Player's Ride Command app for my GPS. I actually have 2 or 3, but I like the Player's Ride Command. I really do. And you can use it without data, which is, I mean, awesome. Oh, give her the spurs. I really hope you guys can hear me, and I hope the wind isn't bad. I have a mic for this camera too, but I haven't been able to put it in my helmet yet. I believe I'm going to need a new helmet. See, that's still peppy, man. I mean, it doesn't go like crazy fast like a Renegade or an Outlander. But I mean, they're also, what, 480 cc's bigger. So if they're doing 100, I'm doing 70. Huh. This is what chews your tires right here. This one. But sometimes you gotta do it. So I figure we'll go for a drive here towards Minto. Try and explore some new trails. There's a spot I'm actually trying to get to. I'll have some lunch on the trail. I just grabbed a sub from the Irving. Got lots of drink here. If you guys can see that sign over there, it says Upper Salmon Creek. And then there is Hardwood Ridge. So I guess that's Hardwood Ridge and that's Upper Salmon Creek, and we're right here in between these signs, no man's land. And that road is Route 10. And this will take you to the Deersdale Connector. So if you follow this to the tracks and then take a right and follow it all the way to the road, that's Route 8. Takes you to Miramichi. Cross that and you'll run parallel with the 107, which takes you from Route 8 to the 105 in Bristol. So like I said, you can pretty much get anywhere from Chipman because you're right by the lake, Grand Lake, or Fauché Lake is what I see on the map, which I was like, what? But anyway, besides that, so you can go that way to Sussex, or you can go towards Salisbury, Moncton. Once you get there, I mean, you can drive all the way to Nova Scotia. Or you can leave here and go towards Navidogan. And then go from Navidogan all the way to Plaster Rock. Once you hit Plaster Rock, you can go all the way to Quebec. And all you're doing pretty much is crossing roads. And then once you get outside the bigger cities like Fredericton or Moncton, there's always these old railbed trails. So there's one that runs up the 105, which parallels the St. John River. In the bigger cities, they're like they would be for walking trails and stuff. But there's ways to get around them. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to rip up this road. This is the Immigrant, or it takes you to the Deersdale Connector. So we're going to go out here to the tracks. And we're going to turn left. But before we do that, we got to turn the GPS on. This is before we lose service here. Actually, I might as well do that now. I like this little mirror though. $9. Saved me $172.50. That way you can, if you ride on the road, like in Chipman, you can ride from the Irving to the Independence and across the bridge on the main street, as long as you have your headlights on, your mirror, and you have to be driving 40 kilometers an hour. And of course, use your hand signals. But okay, nobody's coming behind us, but we do have something ahead of us. Ride Command is tracking us. And when you're, just a safety tip for everybody, when you're riding, even in the daytime, throw your low beams on, because it makes a difference. I was headed to Minto one time on a different trail, and it was a road, just a single track road, like for like a half ton could go down it. But it was very, very brushed in by little alder bushes like this, and because I had my lights on, a Razor came around, a four-door Razor came around the corner and piled on the brakes because he seen me, but he was floating. Like, I mean, that guy was floating. I'd have been pancaked because he squashed for sure. So this looks like an Irving truck, mechanic truck. Yeah, that's what it is. Give him the wave because he's only out here doing his job. But yeah, no complaints yet about this bike, really. A couple minors, but I mean, like, it ain't much. Ain't much at all. So I'd be like a terrible person for a review because there's not many really bad things I can say about it. This is the second new bike I've ever purchased. The rest are all second-hand. And the first bike I purchased new was a racing bike, a four-wheeler. But it was cheap. I used it and abused it for 2 years. I was just young then, though. I was like 16, 17. No, yeah, I'd have been a little older than that. Maybe 20. So it's going to be real hot today. They say it's going to be with the Humidex. You'll love that Humidex. They said with the Humidex it will be close to 40 degrees Celsius. Now, I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. I'm sure I can look it up. Now we're doing some throttle therapy. I love that throttle therapy. I doubt we'll see any wildlife today. I'm going to wipe up my shirt real quick. Nope. Got somebody behind us. Yep. Nice truck. Alright guys, well, I got like another probably 6 kilometers of this, 7 maybe, so I'll catch you at the tracks.